All right, so we're going to record. So welcome everyone to our Thursday night training that we do each and every Thursday night. My name is Latoria Mayberry. For anyone that do not know me, I'm out of Athens, Alabama. I'm a 2-star director with Planet Marketing. I've been in the industry now for almost 3 years. 3 years. It'd be 3 years in March, actually. Really enjoy what I do. I am what they call the hybrid in the business. I actually book travel, but I also build teams, help people grow their business. So what we're going to talk about tonight is travel. We're going to do some vendor training on some of the vendors that most of us are going to use on a regular basis. We're also Trekessa Murray, who is a director in training with Planet Marketing. She's also a travel professional with IntelliTravel. She's a hybrid. She does both. She's going to talk about group bookings and how to do group cruise bookings and what that looks like. So we have some great information we're going to share with you all tonight. We might go at a little faster pace, but I am recording this. And the reason we may go at a little faster pace because I want to make sure that we cover these 3 vendors on tonight. So one of the first things I always say when you're booking travel, you want to make sure that you send your customer or your client that client profile sheet, because you want to make sure you get all the information that you need from them so you won't be going in circles. A lot of us take emails where somebody say, hey, I want to go to Las Vegas. Anybody had any of that? I want to go to Las Vegas. And then they said, well, I want to go in April, maybe in the first or the end of the month. Anybody had in there? Raise your hand if you had some of that. I know you have. So that's not even enough detail to actually get the information that you need. I mean, you want to go to Vegas, okay. And when you're doing it on Facebook, I got tons and tons of questions. Where do you live? What airport you want to fly out of? How many people are going? Have you ever been to Vegas before? Is there any particular hotel you want to stay in? What is your budget? I mean, IntelliTravel says, you really don't need to ask a person their budget, but I like to ask that question because, number one, I want to let them know if it's realistic. You can't tell me that you want to go to Vegas and you want to spend a total of $700 and stay on the strip. That's not going to happen. $700 for 2 people to go to Vegas is not going to happen on the strip. So we got to, look at what's realistic, and don't be afraid to tell your clients that it isn't realistic. But the bookings I'm going to show you on today are some of the ones that I have, but I'm going to do one of the easiest one using Vax. I'm going to talk about Vax first. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm just going to share everything. All right, let me know if y'all can see my screen. Anybody can come off mute to let me know this.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Yes, I can see it.
Awesome. Well, this booking, and this is one of my clients that I book every year, at least twice a year. Her and her husband goes out of town. Well, this year they're going to, for her birthday, they were going to New York, and she wants to see the Lion King production. So only thing she needs for this particular trip is a hotel, shuttle, and the tickets. They have flight credits for American Airlines, so they're going to get their tickets free, her husband, and her son. So, when she texted me and told me what she wanted to do, of course, she knows the information to give me in a text message. And also, she knew the ad, hey, my son is going to have a separate room. He may have a person come with them. However, they're going to be paying for their own flight. They'll be paying for their own shuttle. So I'm only responsible for the 3 of us. So that's information I needed to know from her. She never been to New York. So this is her first time going to New York. So she didn't know where she wanted to stay. Now, me personally, I have not been to New York, but I'm fortunate enough to have a sister that has been there a couple of times. So I was like, what is a great place for them to stay? And she said Times Square. Because there are bad parts in New York, and you need to know that. So she was like, Times Square is great. They're in the middle of everything, and that would be a great location for them to stay. Of course, they can take Uber or any other type of transportation for them to get to the theater, you know, different places to eat. She said they could use Uber. Now, for the night of the play, which they're going on that Saturday night, I convinced them to do a limo. So I did a limo rental that's going to pick them up from the hotel, take them to the play, pick them back up from the play, take them back to the hotel. Oh, well, they're going out to eat too. Sorry. They're going out to eat afterwards. So I have actually reserved them a limo for 2 ways. I had to do that one separate. That's another booking for another time because that one was a little bit complicated. So Vax Vacation Access has a lot of vendors. It's basically a hosting site for a lot of different vendors. As you can see up here up under supplier, vacation package search suppliers. They have different suppliers here. They have a total of this, probably about 10 or 12 suppliers. I never really counted them. But if you want to know what each supplier specializes in, then come up here on the supplier. They have them all listed up on the supplier in your top header. If you click on each one of their names, it'll take you to their page. And it will explain to you Hard Rock, all inclusive. That one just makes sense. I'm sure everybody knows that. That just makes sense. So Hard Rock is in several different locations, and it'll give you all the information where the Hard Rock is, show you videos on different places, Cancun, Punta Cana, all of the different locations where you can actually find Hard Rock. So if you want to know what those vendors specialize in, go up to supplier, click on them, and, you know, get familiar with that. But most of them are on your spreadsheets. You may find a few in here that are not on your spreadsheet, and that's because Vax have updated the vendors that they actually hosting since I made that spreadsheet. But go ahead and update your spreadsheet with these particular vendors. Their contact information is on their page as well. So we have several different vendors, but for this particular booking, as I said, she want a hotel and a shuttle. We're going to use FunJet. So I'm going to use FunJet Vacation as a supplier. Now the package will only be a hotel only because she doesn't need flights. I'm doing the flights with American Airlines because they have vouchers. So it'll be hotel only. And she's going to New York. So I'm going to start typing New York. But as you see, when I started typing New York, they gave me either New York, all airports, New York, JFK, or New York, LaGuardia. Since I'm looking for a hotel in that area, at first I didn't really know where she wanted to go. So I said, why not give New York all airports, all the hotels in New York? That way I know I can look at all the different hotels. What is the radius in between that and actually the theater? So she wants 2 rooms. So I'll put 2. Room 1 will be her and her husband with 2 people. Room 2 will be her son. So I'm going to put 1 person right there in this particular room. If the friend goes, he will stay in the room for free. But right now, I'm just going to put 1 person. All right, my check-in dates are going to be April the 28th through April the 30th. They're going to come back on Sunday. Now, this is for any promotion codes that you have. Now, they have offers and incentives up here in Vax. So usually before you get ready to even search anything, I suggest that you come up here and you look at the promotions. See if there's any promotions for the locations where you're booking your particular client. I didn't take y'all there on this one since it's not a vacation package, it's just a hotel. But sometimes the promotions are filtered in with certain vendors. But I suggest you go in and actually look for those promotions. Now, when you finish with your date, you can go ahead and pre-select the travel protection and travel insurance if you want to. But that's a question you need to ask for your client as well. Do they want the travel protection? Do they want the insurance on their travel? She doesn't, because she uses a MasterCard that insures all her travel bookings. Now, this is one thing that it doesn't do though. it doesn't ensure my commission. So you want to make sure you pay attention to that, because if they cancel, you will not get your commission. So you want to look at the insurance, and you can talk to your clients about the different forms of insurance for the particular vendor, because you kind of want to insure your commissions as well. But with this client, I don't go that far because I know her. Anybody got any questions so far? Any questions?
I don't.
Okay, so we're going to hit search. Like I said, this is just an easy booking. So of course it's searching New York, all airports, and the date is April the 28th through Sunday, April the 30th. Did I do some comparisons when I looked for this particular booking? I did. I used FunJet, and I actually used Southwest, and I did some price comparison to see who was along the best price. So one of the great things about this FunJet is, of course, they're going to give you all of the hotels you want. If I wanted to refine my search, say for instance, she asked for to be close to a nightclub. She's a pastor, so she don't want to be close to a nightclub. Or she wanted to have shopping close by her. I would click on shopping. If she wanted family activities, I can click on family activities, and they will pull up all the hotels that fits this category. So maybe she want a place with a spa, luxury activities, adventures, and then they have hotel amenities. Some people want free breakfast. Some people want free parking. Some people want late checkout. You can and some people want free airport shuttle. So I did check that as well when I did the booking. So that will be something great that your clients can get. Make sure they specify, when you actually do the booking. Additional searches. If you have a particular hotel that you want to book at, you can go ahead and just put this hotel's name in here and hit search. And it'll just pull up that hotel. Now, to keep you from going through all of the hotels, you can also go from lowest to highest. You can go from highest to lowest, A to Z, closest to the airport, furthest from the airport. You can also do the ratings from highest to low. You can make a decision. You can also click these little boxes up here to change it as well. Everybody can see the hand, right? So let me make sure. I saw some hand raises, so I'm not sure if you said you have questions. Do you have questions? The ones raising their hand. Okay. All right. So again, I wanted to make sure they were in a 4 or 5 star hotel, and Times Square was our choice. But one of the great things about FunJet, and I had to call Cassandra today because mine was acting crazy at work when I was trying to send her booking. They have where you can create a sales email where you can send it directly to the client from FunJet, and they can book from that email. I love this because now we don't have to do that back and forth stuff. We don't have to, them get, they give me the credit card. I give them the credit card authorization form. I don't have to do all that. I can go ahead and create a sales email. Why is it doing this? I believe that's what it was doing, okay? It's thinking. So once it actually pulls up, after it finished thinking for a while, and this is not government, so it should be pretty quick. Okay, so when I hovered over it, when I had my finger, my thumb over it, it told me in order to create a sales email, click this, click create sales email, and a box will appear beside the hotel for you to choose. You have to click in that box in order to choose that particular hotel in order to create the sales email. So we did the Westin New York at Times Square. So I was going back and forth with the Sheraton and the Westin. But of course, I like the Westin because it said reduced rates plus free room upgrade. So they're going to get a reduced rate here because of the special that they have going on. And then they're going to get to upgrade their room for free. So I'm always looking for those special bonuses to give my client. Before I hit create sales email, I could have clicked on it and they would have showed me exactly what it was. And some of them have complimentary Wi-Fi. Save up to 10% now, non-refundable rate, no cancellations or changes. You know, they'll have all that there as well. So we're going to click the Westin. So I include in sales email the Westin. Now I got to have a shuttle because they need to get to the airport, to the hotel, from the hotel to the airport. So I'm going to stroll down to features. And I'm going to click on features. So it's thinking. Now, when I click on features, it's going to tell me all of the different features that are available. The travel protection insurance, ground transportation. They have private transportation. Of course, this is one way. And then they have the ground transportation, airport transportation. Of course, I don't want one way, but all of these are one ways. But I want the round trip shared from LaGuardia Airport to Miami to JFK. Of course, you're going to have to look for the ones that actually fit your area. So this one right here is service LGA Airport to Manhattan area, round trip shared service EWR Airport. So this is from LaGuardia. They're going to fly from JFK. So I'm going to click sales email right here. So I would have to know that since I'm not actually booking their flights. So this is some extra activities for them to do. Boy, how I wish those tickets was in here to the actual play. That would have been just great. I could have did everything right here. Now, of course, they have a lot of activities for them to do, but the only thing that I'm booking for them are the tickets. But one of the things I do before I even before I preview the sales email, that's how I'm going to actually generate the email. I look at my commission. So here's the commission tab right here. So click on commission. And when you click on commission, you'll see exactly what your commission will be for this particular booking. So my commission for this booking is $115.02. And what's so crazy, this room actually went down from earlier today. So that's something you kind of want to pay attention to. Like if I book someone for a trip, my 6 that I booked for a trip to Jamaica, what I do every now and then, I'll go back inside of Delta and see if, because I booked it with World Agent Direct, to see if anything is any less. Because if it is, Delta will honor that. Okay, so now that I have everything in the package, again, I have the shuttle transportation. I'm going to go preview sales email. And it's generating the email. So in the email, you see that it has the hotel, it has the shuttle amount, and of course it has the information. Thank you for your interest. You can actually edit this if you want. Of course, I come down here and I edit thank you again, and I add my name and take my member number out. And then you can put who it's from. Now, I send it to myself first, just so I can see how it comes out. And this right here, this email right here, it'll say make sure to enter an email address in the reply to field. This is the address that all replies will be sent to. As you can see, this is my regular email address. It's not my travel business email address. So what I would do here is update this to my travel email address, so I can make sure all my emails are going there and not somewhere else. And I misspelled travel. Of course, verify. Now in my subject, I put New York hotel, and then I put, or you can put and shuttle, so I can know exactly what I booked for this particular person. And then after you do that, you're going to hit preview. It'll show it to you. Thank you again, Latoria Mayberry. And then you're going to hit email. Your itinerary email has been sent successfully. Okay. So I'll close this out. And if you want to email it to yourself, just so you can have all the information you need, just say you want to know what your commission is, you want to keep track of all that, you can email it to yourself and make sure you have everything. But the great thing about VAX, of course, they're going to save it in your search. And I think this is say maybe you can save it for 24 hours, but I always hit save, and then I put New York, and then I'll put Tanya Parker, so I can know who that's saving. I mean, who this particular booking was for. And I'll put save my itinerary, just in case I need to go back in here. And when I go back in here, just in case I have to book it and she doesn't book it from the email. Any questions? You can come off mute to ask questions if you have any questions.
Okay, you just answered my question that I had about, I saw on there where it said book now. So I was going to ask you, is that where they go if they want to make the payment that you send to them through the email?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay. I can't hear you. Who's speaking?
It's Christiana.
I still can't hear you.
It's me. It's Christy from Lowell.
Okay. I can barely hear you, Christina.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay. Oh, my question was the commission. So is that what we're going to get, or what will go to IntelliTravel before they pay us?
Yes. What you saw right there is that $115 that will go to IntelliTravel. You'll get 70% of that.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that you can do with this commission right here, with FunJet, usually if it's some airfare or different stuff added, just say it was a vacation package, FunJet will let me actually upgrade my commission, add maybe 20, whatever I want to my commission, where it can actually be higher.
Okay. So when you add it, because I know the last time they told me I can do that. So when you do that, the one you added, are you going to get it, or are you still going to go to IntelliTravel?
It is still go to IntelliTravel, and you'll get 70% of that. So say, for instance, you know you want to make $150 off this booking, then you know to take that actual booking up to maybe $200, because you're going to get 70% of that 200.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And my math may not be right on this, so somebody, you just know 70%.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, because I think you may have to take it up to maybe $60. Take it up $60.
I understand what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, $60. So I said my math.
I know. I'm not good with maths. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for this training.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. So as I said before, you have a lot of vendors inside of VAX. VAX is a useful resource tool. But while I'm here, I want to show you how to create your FunJet website, because we want to make sure that when you create this FunJet website, this is the website you can send out to your people, and they will actually be able to book from your website, from your FunJet site. So you're going to go here, member services. Oh, I'm taking you too fast. I'm about to tell you how to do your, I'm going too fast. I'm about to tell you how to do your, that sales email. I'm gonna have to tell you that too, because that sales email is not automatic, but I'll show you how to actually filter that in. So let's go to FunJet. Wherever they are. Okay, FunJet Vacations. So when you get to FunJet Vacations, of course, they take you to their site. We're gonna click on Agent Bonus. And then we're gonna go to, I'm sorry, I haven't had agency, hadn't did this in a while. Agency website. All right, so after you go to agency website, go to FunJet, go to agency website, go enroll now. So this is where you're gonna do everything that you need. Let me make sure we're in the right place.
Yeah,
We are. Somebody did this before?
yeah. I did.
Okay. I hadn't did this one since about 5 months ago. So this is the information that you're gonna fill out. And once you fill out this information, you have to submit the information to FunJet. And then what FunJet will do, they'll send you an email that states, they'll send you an email that states that your website is under review. Once your website is approved, they'll send you an email actually telling you all the information that you need for your website. I'm gonna show you that email right quick, because I just had them resend mine. So I could actually do my my sales. All right, so we're gonna go here. So in this email, they're gonna give you details of, okay, go FunJet. All right, so not there. So in this email right here, of course, they're going to give you all the information that you need. They're going to give you, I don't know what's going on. They're going to give you the PL code. They're going to give you your link to your website. They're also going to tell you how to set up your Group Your Way custom event page. They'll show you how to do that too. There's a blog to show you how to do that. And then you see how I created that sales email? You actually have to go to FunJet. You have to go to VAX. And we'll go back to VAX to be able to do that. And they give you step-by-step on what to do, but this is where I was taking you too fast. You'll go to member services, and then it tells you after you go to member services, select user preference. And after you select user preference, the middle PL code information, that PL code that's in your email, you'll put it right here. And then you'll update your PL code. That's how you're going to start generating your actual sales emails. where you can send it to your clients, and they can book from that email. Okay, any questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So you can send them the sales email, however, they cannot book through that sales email until you have that code generated. Is that right?
Code generated, yes.
Thank you.
Well, they make him book, you know what? They make him book from that email, but I don't know if it's going to be sent to you. Anybody ever did it without doing that part? Anybody online ever did it, do it? I mean, ever booked? Anybody ever booked from that sales email? Okay. Because there's, well, somebody.
I haven't booked from the sales email, but if you, I think if you don't do this portion, then when you create your sales email, it doesn't have that book now button. I've never seen that book now button, but I haven't done that portion that you just showed us.
Oh, okay.
So it might not actually show that as an option, but you still can create the sales email, and it'll actually show, like, you can pick different options, and they can click on it, look at the hotel and stuff, but it doesn't give them the directly book it from the quote you're seeing.
Okay. And that's probably because you have not created your FundJet website, or have you created that sales email?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Okay. All right. So any other questions? All right. So we're going to go on because we got to do the group booking. But that's VAX. That's basic VAX. And everybody, your websites are used just like you booking on Priceline, just like you booking on Expedia.com. It's the exact same thing. I'm not going to go over Delta today, because where I really want to take you is to Vacation Express, which is another great website with VAX, Vacation Express, and Delta will generate your quotes for you. Now, one of the things that I do when I get that quote right here for my vacation options, this is how it's going to look. Of course, when I forward it to my client, I never show any of my clients a vendor I use. Never, ever, ever. So, of course, I edit this. I remove the vendor. I remove all of this before I send it to them. And then I add to my thank you and give them instructions. Okay? So you never want to send them the information with your vendor on there. Always remove your vendor. So Vacation Express, and this particular booking is the group for 8. The group for 8, they're actually going to Jamaica. I got 4 flying out of Atlanta. I got 4 flying out of Birmingham. Now, of course, this one was a little different, and I'm not going to show you everything I did with this one, because they wanted their flights to meet up at some time so they could get to Jamaica at the same time. So it was a little bit more difficult than most easy ones. So I'm going to just do an easy one here. I'm just going to do Atlanta. Whoops, I didn't mean to go to my reservations. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Go to new bookings. Okay, it's already in there. So let's go ahead and do it since it's already here. From Atlanta to Jamaica, they're going the 5th through the 8th. It's 4 of them, 2 to a room. Some resorts in Jamaica, you can do 3 to a room. But this particular party, I did convince them to do 2 to a room because, just because it is an even number. So you just hit continue. It was populated, but of course, you pick your city where they're flying from. You're gonna pick where they're going, and then you're gonna pick their dates. Then if you have a specific hotel you wanna stay in Jamaica, then you can also put that down there as well. So I always look at my flights first. I always look at the layover time, how long they're gonna be in the airport, And I asked them that question. This group that I'm booking now of 12, you know, I had to ask that question because some of the layovers were like 4 hours. And I'm like, what's the longest layover you want? Because, you know, they were in a certain budget. And they said 3 to 4 hours. I was like, okay, that's the worst flight, the 4-hour layover. But this particular group did not want to be in the airport that long. So it was good that we had a flight from 9 to 11. It was a straight shot to Montego Bay. And then Montego Bay to Atlanta. But the great thing about this group, they're going to both arrive there at 11 a.m. So what I had to do with the other group, I just had to make sure they arrived there since it wasn't a straight shot that they could do from from Nashville. So I knew this particular group, they did not want to resort with kids. So with a Vacation Express, they got IP, inclusive plans available. Then they have a family plan. And then they have a prestigious package, which this is adult only. And then they tell you the kid's age. So they wanted adult only. And of course, they wanted all inclusive. Adult only, all inclusive. So AL is all inclusive. So I actually booked them at the Jewel Dunn. And I guess, you know, people, if you want to ask the question, why not the Rio Reggae? Well, the Rio Reggae only had 3 restaurants, and Jewel Paradise, they actually were a 4.5 star. However, I didn't like, I wanted them to have more amenities, and that's why I went to actual Jewel Dunn. But in order to see all that information, just click on the vendor and hit more information. And when you hit more information, pictures will pop up. You can see the resort, what it looks like. I also Google. Of course, you know the vendor's going to have the best pictures in there. But I booked clients at the Jewel Dunn before. All inclusive. It has 6 restaurants, 6 floors, 18 plus adult only. They had beach fronts. They got 6 bars and exclusive luxuries. But you can go to all inclusive to see what's included in the all inclusive. And you can see all meals, non-motorized water sports, round trip air transfer, because you want to know that's in there, nightly entertainment, hotels, taxes, and gratuity, premium brand alcoholic beverages. And then they'll tell you about the bars and the restaurants. Of course, 6 bars. They got 6 restaurants, a piano bar, 6 bars and lounges, nightly entertainment, and they have a nightclub on the actual property. So that was one thing. They do not have to leave the property for anything. Activities and recreation. This is another thing you want to look at, because a lot of the resorts, you have to leave off of the resorts to do certain excursions. So you want to see what this particular resort has on property. So they have windsurfing, golf nearby, snorkeling, sailing, on-site golf course, pools, all of those different things that they have on site. So if they want to swim with the dolphins, of course, they're going to have to go off site. Most resorts don't have where you can swim with the dolphins on the resort. I think some of Sandals do. And I think, I'm pretty sure Secrets Wild Orchard does. I think they have that. Okay, so we chose Jewel Dunn. You can click on view rooms and rates, and they give you all of the different rooms that they have available. Now, of course, if you want to see what's the premium guest room, also on the other page, it explains the rooms, the size of the rooms, what you get, but it gives you an actual description of the room, what it looks like. My particular guest, they did the Diamond Ocean. So we took that one, with the concierge service. And once you choose, you hit select. Now this resort does have swim up suites. And what's so crazy, they didn't come up under Atlanta, but when I did it under Nashville, it came up. I don't know why, but I called them and actually got 2 of them changed to swim up suites. Now for Vacation Express, just say not all of them wanted the Diamond Ocean View. You could have made a choice whether you wanted to do them 2, you know, the 2 that just wanted the Premier, or you could have did 2 that just wanted the Diamond package. Or you can call them and they can actually change the rooms for you. But I will go through the particular booking and hit save itinerary, because they can pull up your itinerary too and change on your itinerary. And then you can come back in and you can do the booking. So this is the cost for those 4. Now, right here, it tells me the total package cost. This is how much they will have to pay, $9,976. The net amount is $9,196. The net amount is what your commission is going to be taken off of. So your commission, my commission amount was $779.76 for these 4. It tells you deposit is due on February the 2nd of $753 per person. Final payment is due February the 19th. Now with this particular group, that was a high deposit. So you can come to reduced deposit plan, which tells me it's going to add $10 to the total per person. And once you do that, of course, it's going to take the price up, but it's going to actually take the deposit down to $235 per person. And I'm just showing you this example, but for this particular booking, I ended up using Delta, which was $200 deposit a piece, and they didn't have to pay until February 25th. I'm sorry, February 25th. So I ended up using Delta, and my commission was higher. I always look at that as well. So the insurance, if you was to pick any of the insurance, it's going to take that deposit up higher, because they're going to pay the insurance up front. Now with Vacation Express, I don't know if everybody have noticed, the only insurance you can do now is the trip insurance plan, air and land. They don't give you any other options. So you would have to pick that one. And as you can see, it took the deposit up to $364 per person. But it also took your commission up because you sold the actual insurance. Now, let's say I want to save this itinerary. So let's go save itinerary. Because I want to email this to myself as well as to them. So after I save the itinerary, I go up here to documents. Now, when I go to documents, it gives me several ways to actually email this to myself. Of course, if you want it emailed to you, you're going to do customer invoice with commission. But if you want an invoice to email to your customer, you're going to do passenger invoice without commission. That way you can send it directly to your client once it comes to you. But you can choose whether you want PDF, HTML. You can actually download these without emailing them to yourself as well. But I always email mine to myself. So once you choose how you want it to email, you can email it PDF, you can email it HTML, which is just email style. If you don't have the PDF converter, go to HTML. Just email it to yourself HTML, where you can edit it in Word. So, and then you just hit send. And after you hit send, they'll actually email it to your email address. And now you have a document with that information on it. And I actually sent this one to the wrong one. I did not want to go there. So let's go to Victoria. I just want you to see what it looks like. Okay, Vacation Express invoice. And this is what it's going to look like. And of course, I remove the header. I remove the phone number. For the client, I place the client's name there. For the address, I just take that completely out. Phone number, I put my phone number and I am the contact person. And of course, I go and remove Get Social Media Vacation. I remove that footer and I remove this header again, and then I remove visit vacationexpress.com. All of that in that box. I just removed that complete box. Okay, that's it for that one. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna let Kessa come up. This Trakessa Murray, as I told you before, she is a director in training, a goal builder, and she's gonna talk about group cruise bookings. Trakessa, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Okay, I just tried to share the screen and it wouldn't let me do it at the moment. I think you may have to stop sharing. Okay. All right, you see my screen?
Yes.
Well, nothing's up there.
Yes, we got it.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to go over is basically Carnival group bookings. A lot of other cruise lines have group bookings as well, but tonight we're just going to touch on Carnival. I actually want to show you real quick how to register if you're not registered online. I'll go through the online version and then kind of do what it sounds like when you call over the phone to do the exact same thing. So let me log out since it still has me logged in. So the website is www.goccl.com. And so when you go to the website, this is the first thing that you will actually see for Carnival. Now, on the right-hand side, well, my stuff is saved in here, but just act like if that was not there. You will click on Register Now to join the fund. I typically just hit agree, but read through all of that and just make sure you basically understand what it's saying. And then here is where you put your actual information in. So you should have all of this information anyway, but that would be your first name, your last name, and then the contact phone number for you, like your actual phone number. The agency name would be IntelliTravel, and then your date of birth, and leave the access level as agent. There are some other options here, but you're not the manager nor the owner, so just leave it as agent, and then put your email address. But when it asks for the agency phone number, that's the number that was sent to you when you first actually got started. So that's the 561 number that you would enter in there. And so once you do it, typically you're approved like the next day. I haven't really seen it take much longer than that. And they'll send you your username and your password, and it'll be a generic password. So I typically change it to something that I can remember. And so you will go here. Once you do that, you can hit the login button at the top once they, email you your username and password. So you'll go hit login and put in, whatever they sent you. If it's probably better to just copy it because there's a lot of lowercase letters and exclamation points, so you won't have to mistype it, and log in. So this is the screen that you'll see once you lock in. And what we're going to do today is a group booking. And the reason we're really going over this is because groups is really where a lot of the money is when dealing with the cruise. So it's a good idea to try to book you at least a couple of group cruises a year. So on the right-hand side, this is usually expanded, but let's just say if it wasn't, this is what it'll look like. Well, maybe not, but it'll have a plus just like these others. So you'll see create a booking, manage a booking, document payments, and then this is like the rewards club that Carnival offers. So we're going to create a booking, and actually after you create the booking and everything, you can actually go look it up through manage a booking and just type in the booking number. But we're going to create a group booking. So you click group booking, and it's going to take you to this screen. So if your client actually gave you the dates that they want to cruise, then great. I've experienced a lot of people that will just give me a month that they want to cruise or around a certain holiday, but they may not have exact dates, but they may know for sure that they want to go to the Bahamas or they want to leave from Mobile, details like that. So here you can search actually without having to have all of the information. So for me, I just picked, I was just going to give an example on tonight. I picked some Thanksgiving dates. I picked November because I was thinking, okay, if I'm going to set up a group cruise, a lot of people are doing different things now for holidays. So why not pick a Thanksgiving cruise? I actually went on a cruise for Thanksgiving last year too. That's probably why it popped in my head. But Thanksgiving and kids are out of school typically for an entire week. So there's days in there that, you know, parents will probably be more willing to take their kids on a cruise. So that's why I picked November. So I typically search the entire month just because that's what I like to do. And for group type, even though Thanksgiving is a holiday, this really applies to Christmas and New Year's. So I always click open promotion. And you kind of got to think of who your clients are. So I'm from Alabama. A lot of the people that I know and where I'm from is South Alabama. So I would pick a port that's close to South Alabama for them. So lately I've just been picking the Carnival Fantasy, and that's in Mobile because it's not that far for people to be able to drive and be able to actually, you know, afford to take this cruise. And so that's pretty much it. Put in those. This one is optional, the duration, so you don't have to select it. And that's it. You hit search. Now on the next screen, this gives you all of your options for November out of Mobile on the Carnival Fantasy. So if you click on these, it'll tell you like the details of the cruise. But what I really look at, for one, is the date that it's leaving, the sail date. They only have 4 and 5 day cruises. And I kind of in my head decipher out, okay, which one of these would people be more likely to go on? So if it's not during a week that school will be out, and I'm thinking of adults, I'll pick one that is leaving on a Thursday, come back on a Monday, because that may be easier for people to, you know, get those extra days off versus middle of the week type of cruises. But for us, for Thanksgiving, you know, they're going to be off anyway. So, well, the kids will be out of school. So I was going through and I looked, and really either of these two would work. Actually, November 23rd is Thanksgiving Day. And then this one is that Saturday before. So I would pick this one just because it leaves on a Saturday and it's going to be during that week of Thanksgiving. And that's actually when they're out of school. If I pick this one, then they're going to leave on Thanksgiving Day and they're going to come back on that Monday. But, you know, that's the day that they would have to be back in school. So I'd most likely pick the November the 18th date. So this is just pretty much the base price. Don't go by that one. Don't give that to anybody as the price that your, you know, the group booking is. Just go to the next step and hit select. So we picked the November 18th sailing. So now we have, these are our room options. So in order for it to be considered a group, you have to have 8 cabins. So that's kind of how you decide what type of rooms you want. So me, I would probably pick some interiors, and some ocean views. And they'll let you, this tells you the maximum amount that you can actually select for each one. But I would pick 8 of these and 8 of these, 8 ocean views and 8 interiors. The good thing about this one, the deposit is only $25. So $25 per person for the deposit. And then in here, you have to put in a group name. So I would put in, I'm just going to put Thanksgiving. And I need to spell it right. Thanksgiving. So that's pretty much it, selecting the rooms. So this just says I'm going to really have a total of 16 rooms. 8 are going to be interior, 8 are going to be ocean view. You see they don't have like a suite option or balcony option. So really these are your only 2 options for this one. Now this right here means if a 3rd person wants to be added in a room, 4th person or 5th person, and how much additional it is per person. Typically, I don't do a lot of those, but that is an option. And this price here is based on 2 people being in the room. So after you do that, you hit save and continue. And then it's going to give you a summary of what you have. So if I hit this confirm button, which I probably am going to do because this seems like a pretty good cruise that I want to market. But this gives a summary of what you actually have that you're about to reserve. So it tells you that your commission is 16%. That's what actual Carnival pays out anyway, 16%. You have 8 ocean views and you have 8 interiors. You agree to the terms of service. I typically skim over this and make sure everything looks like I expect it to look with my name, the dates, just double check it, basically all the dates, and hit confirm booking. All right. So now we have a group booking number, this 5QT2F2. So that's your actual booking for this group cruise. Now, at this point, I really would start to, market the cruise to different people that I know. I may even create a flyer or a text message to people that I know just to give them an idea of something different they can do for Thanksgiving and go from there. But once people start to, let's just say they go ahead and say, hey, you start posting it there, they're ready to book it. So I have a spreadsheet that I couldn't find tonight, but I have a backup here.
Hey, Tricassa, quick question. Can you do the print confirmation just so you can have, does that work?
Well, let's do it. Can y'all see this screen? Y'all can see this, right?
Yes.
So this is the confirmation for the group. Let me scroll down. And it'll show all the details. So this is where they're going. Leaving Mobile, going to Progresso, Cozumel, and then another fun day at sea, and back in Mobile. That's just the breakdown details. And they'll actually be back on that Thursday morning. And if you go on down, it gives the same breakdown of the rooms that we just looked at. This gives you your totals over here as well. And the deposits. Okay. So this is a good example to look at here. So these are the payment guidelines. So even though it's a $25, anyone that has put down that $25 deposit needs to at least have $150 down on their room. That's basically the full deposit amount is due by July 21st. And we just have a discounted deposit for $25 initially. And then full payment is due by September the 19th. One of the things, if you don't have, let's just say you need 8 minimum for it to be a group. And if you don't have 8, they will cancel your group block. So let's just say it's coming up close to the dates and you don't have enough people to actually book into it, you can consider partnering with some other people in the business, letting them market the cruise as well. And, they could get the commission, but you would rather that happen than for you to actually lose your cruise block. So I always consider, partnering with someone else, maybe even a teammate would really be good. I think that's it. Maybe you want to show them anything else in here?
I just wanted to make sure we could get a copy of that if we needed to just have it for our records. That's good.
Oh yeah, and then you can actually save that. You could do a file, save as, export as a PDF, put it on your desktop. You got options.
Okay.
From there. I'm sure that if you don't have that options, if I'm on a Mac, but if you were on a regular computer, you could right click and save this as well. Right mouse click, and then you'll have some other options to save it. I just go to the top and do file, save as. But if you're like on a Windows computer, you can right click and save it. Okay. I think that's it in here. Anything else on the website you want me to show them before we go to the spreadsheet?
That's good. That's good.
Okay. So,
does anybody have any questions? Do anybody have any questions?
Latoria, can you hear me? It's Lynn. I have a quick question, and I'm because I've been asked this a few times by folks on my team. I'm actually going back to what you were talking about before. You went to FunJet and you showed some stuff on FunJet, and then you showed some things on Vacation Express. How do you personally determine which vendors to start looking at for your quotes?
Good question. First of all, you need to know the specialty of the vendor. Now, Vacation Express, we know they do Caribbean bookings. So I know I'm going to only use those if I want to do like Mexico, Cozumel, Cancun. They do have St. Martin in there as well. So that Virgin Islands. So I know exactly what vendor has what. And it's trial and error. In VAX, I actually had to go and really look at the vendors, study the vendors, see what they specialize in. And you want to use the vendor who specializes in that particular area. For for Vegas, I don't just use VAX. I may use World Agent Direct. I may use Southwest. I may use American Airlines, which is in VAX, and Southwest is in VAX. And I may use FunJet. Sometimes I'll do two comparisons. Since I'm already in there, it's just that easy for me to do it. But after I have done it for a while, I know who just about give the best price. But under those promotions will really, really help you. World Agent Direct has promotions. VAX has promotions. So you can look at and see what vendor has what promotions going on that particular month if you're not getting the emails. Does that make sense? Anybody else can chime in too if they got something else they want to add.
I do have a question.
Getting a guest house. How would I go about looking for a guest house in the Caribbean?
You can use Villas of Distinction. That is a great vendor to use for guest house. I did one in Jamaica, but they're very expensive. Most of them are not all inclusive. So make sure your client really understand that they're responsible for their food. You may can find some of those in Villas of Distinction that has packages, all-inclusive packages, but not too many of them will have that.
Latoria?
Okay, thank you.
Did that answer your question? I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Villas of Distinction.
I was just going to say, Latoria, I've also booked some like through some of the, the vendors like Flipkey, HomeAway, VRBO, but just making sure that I ask up front if they were willing to pay commission.
Yes. Now, HomeAway and VRBO are good ones because you can talk to the actual owner of the property when it's in the Caribbeans. So I would actually use those. Puerto Rico, I did one for a hairstylist in Puerto Rico who, took his people to Puerto Rico to do a class. I actually talked to the vendor. I negotiated my commission. I ended up getting a $500 commission from that particular owner on that one. And he paid me up front. I didn't have to wait until they came. So it's great when you can talk to the owner of the property personally. VRBO has some different restrictions now, but if you can get past it and get to the owner of the property, they will pull that off of VRBO and deal with you on the outside because they're spending a whole lot of money through VRBO. So a lot of owners are trying to come out of there. And the great thing about these as well, when you're dealing with VRBO, you're dealing with some of those other ones and you can get with the owners. If you can commit to this owner that you will book their property for them, you will push their property, they'll give you an even bigger deal. I got one in Panama that said, hey, you've been pushing my property, you can come stay free a weekend. So if you can deal with some individual owners, do it.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
You said that on the cruises, most of your groups start with a party of 8. Is that for most of your cruising? Because I was talking to some people today, and I know they have a party of 5 that they're probably going to set up with me within the next 2 weeks. So what I'm trying to ask is, do most of your cruises set up, they go into like Jamaica and to the Bahamas, and I'm trying to find out. I know there's a group of 5 with them. So I'm trying to figure, do all the cruise line that go to Jamaica, do they group rate start at a group of 8? That would be my question.
Guess I'll let you handle that one.
Well, as far as I know, they do. And that means not 8 people. That means 8 cabins. Like actually 8 cabins. So there's actually typically about 16 people. But what you can do, you can still set up the group if you like and just book your people into that group and then just market the rest of those rooms to somebody else.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. And then on that main screen, when we hit manage and we did group booking, it's also a tab there that says individual booking. You would do basically the same thing. It's just individual versus a group.
Okay, I apologize because I had volume problem. I couldn't get on to hear no audio. So I had just recently got in, but I understand what you're saying now. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. And she recorded it, so you can, when we send the link out, you can go back and watch it.
Thank you.
And one of the great things about the group, it usually give them a better rate, but sometimes it may not. Sometimes it may be better for you to do them individually. It's up to you.
Okay, I understand that. Thank you for the info.
I just wanted to make a statement about Carnival. This is Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
About the groups, just from experience. I know calling and dealing with the group department, it is a minimum of 8, but if you don't have at least 8 by the time everything needs to be booked, you can just call the group department and they'll let you still keep the group with 5. But that's it. You only be able to do 5. And as far as picking back off Ms. Mayberry, what she just said about sometimes it may be cheaper for individuals. If they're past Carnival guests, sometimes putting their VIFP number in there will get them a better rate depending on the promotions that they have going on.
Mm-hmm. A better rate or maybe an upgrade or maybe
right.
kind of credits.
Or credit, right.
That they have going on. That's good. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, because we don't have to go the tracking.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Basically, if you call over the phone, you can give them the same information. The only thing they're going to ask you when you first call, they're going to ask you if you're an agent, and you say yes, and they're going to ask for your agency phone number. You give them the phone number and they'll pretty much do everything that we just did. They'll do it for you and send you the email. So it's really just up to personal preference of how you would like to do it. I just wanted to show this spreadsheet real quick. These are fake numbers, but let's just say once people start to book, you really need to keep yourself organized on who has actually paid what. And the way you can do that is through a spreadsheet. So I just kind of created this. It's nothing fancy. I just have the client name, the total amount of the cruise that's due, what they paid in their deposit, and what date they paid that on. And then I have installments. You can have as many installments as they actually paid and just add more columns in, you know, pretty much as they make more installments. I just have 2 in here as of right now. But, and then you put the client's name in. So I put some dummy names in here. Well, really, they're not dummy names, but just people I know. I put them in the spreadsheet. And let's just say on that cruise, we were just looking up, the price was $1,700. That was the total amount that was due. Now, keep in mind that first deposit was only $25, and they paid their $25. And we'll just say they paid it February the 2nd. They paid it today. So the first installment would probably be the $125, because keep in mind they needed to have that $150 to have their full deposit paid by a certain date. And then whatever date they paid it, let's just say it was March 2nd. We just put some dummy numbers in here. So as they're making their payments, I have a little formula in here for the final payment. And it was real simple. I just typed in, it's equal to the total amount due minus every payment that they made. As simple as that. And then this tells you how much they actually have left. So if I was doing it, let me just show you. I would click inside the box, hit equals, the total amount minus the deposit they paid minus whatever their first installment was minus whatever their second installment was, and hit enter. And that's pretty much it. And that'll actually keep up with who owes what. And when they start asking you, you see how it's updating the final payment as soon as I'm putting the numbers in? And you can copy this formula and pretty much paste it all the way down with all the people that you have and just enter their names in like that to kind of help you keep up with it. The only other thing I would say is just put some calendar reminders in your phone to remind you to contact them about when they need to be making a payment, so that you won't run into any issues with people, you know, not having the money by the time that it's due. And typically I don't give the real due date. I back it up about 3 or 4 days, just because it helps a lot. I think that's it, Mayberry, as far as the spreadsheet.
Okay, awesome. And that's a good point, because when you start booking it and you take that first deposit, you know the date the next installment is. Go ahead, put it in your calendar, email them, even mail them a calendar notice. And as she said, 3 to 5 days before, let them know. That's for any type of booking. I do that. I make sure that I put it in my calendar, that last payment date, and I send it to them so they can have it on their calendar. Of course, with the cruise lines, of course, you know, you're going to have their name, their date of birth, and then the payment information. So even with the deposit, you got to have their zip code. So you're going to have that information with the deposit. So lastly, I'm going to just share my screen one more time. I'm going to show you this because a lot of people ask me, you posted something the other day in regards to the Hyatt. You posted something the other day in regards to the Marriott. So of course, on our We Sell Recess page, if you do not have access to it, please let us know. If you're a business partner and you don't, because everybody needs to be added to this page. Let's say, for instance, you want to know what is the Marriott code. I have posted in here before. Only thing you have to do is go up here to search this group, type in Marriott, everything that I ever posted about Marriott is going to come up. Everything. The excellence training is going to tell you about the Marriott IATA number. Then it's going to give you the Marriott travel agent codes that you use when you book for yourself. If you want to know Hyatt, everything I ever posted about Hyatt is going to come up. Hyatt travel agent code for when you go book. Let's say those villas. Give you the different destinations. Mostly it gives you for you. And I looked for the condos the other day, and I think I did see those links, but I'm not sure. And you're going to have to kind of get it about how I typed it. But Advantage Direct, if I didn't put an S on it, you may have to go and take the S off it. But it'll give you everything that I posted about condos. If I post anything about destination wedding, it's going to be in there. If anybody posted anything about any hotels, all you have to do is search New Orleans, how to become a New Orleans specialist, how to become a Las Vegas specialist. Type Las Vegas, type New Orleans, and it should be there. All right, any questions? That's the end of the training. Any questions?
One more question. Should I start a business Facebook account with the company, so that I can have, instead of my own personal Facebook account, should I start one with my travel agency account?
I would do a group page, yes, and then
Okay.
and then put your friends into your group page.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, like you were explaining the payments that they have to make, the instrumental payments. So are they paying to you, or how does that work? Then when they finish paying, that's when you pay the cruise line?
No, if the cruise line needs a deposit, they're gonna pay you, and then you're gonna give them a credit card authorization form. That's number one. You're gonna send them the credit card authorization form. With that credit card authorization form, they're gonna fill it out. If it's just for the deposit, they're gonna put the amount in there, $50, and then you're gonna call the cruise line. And you're going to use that number that they gave you on that credit card authorization form and give it to the cruise line. Now, what I do with that credit card authorization form, if I know that the balance is, they only gave me $100 and say the balance is $1,000, I ask my client, is this the same credit card that you're going to use to pay off your balance? If it is, I go ahead and ask them to initial it. I send it back to them, ask them to initial it, and put the final payment and the date. That way I have their initial, their approval of what date to run that credit card.
Okay, thank you.
That covers you.
Okay.
So I don't want anybody on this line not to get in the habit of getting that credit card authorization form. I mean, that's something that I teach time and time again, because number one, someone could come back and say, I did not authorize them to use my card. So always get that credit card authorization form, and IntelliTravel's name is on there. They allow you to use their credit card authorization form. Number two, how long do I keep it? I keep it 6 months. Okay. You never know what may come back anytime.
Okay.
But you can shred it after 3 months after they come back. Because anybody could go and have a bad vacation. They'll be like, oh, I really didn't authorize them to do this. And they, it could be anything. So make sure you get into the habit and teach your business partners to use that form.
Miss Mayberry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This is Keisha. for older couples who are not so technically savvy, do you think it's okay for them to just send an email stating that they're authorizing me and my company IntelliTravel to charge their card?
Yes, if they're not for older couples that cannot print the form or the new forms, they can type in them now. That's a great thing. So if they cannot download it, whatever they have to do, then I have generated an email or even a text message. I believe in working smarter and not harder. And just in that text message, some of them don't know how to text. Some of them may not even have an email. This may be something that you have to take to them if they don't know how to text or an email. But if they know how to text, they know how to email, I got a generated email that I send them and say that they have authorized Mayberry Travel and IntelliTravel to fulfill their vacation needs. I put the total on there, what the deposit is, and just say, can you respond with approval or concurrence?
Okay. That's what I've done, and I just wanted to be sure that that was okay.
Yes, that will hold up in a court of law. I don't know about a text message, but I know an email will.
Okay, and the second thing I wanted to say with Carnival, once you make that $25 deposit for the group, if it's not made by the due date, the cabins will drop off.
Yeah.
But it's still at that group rate, what is already in there that's berth or reserved.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Awesome. I hope everybody got something from this training and it was helpful. Everybody was able to take something away. It is recorded, so we will give you a link to it. It's not the most professional recording, but it will be helpful. All right.
Awesome training. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, everyone, this concludes the training. We have the corporate call at 8:30. So I hope everybody did invited guests. If not, jump on the calls. Always be present on these calls. The more you hear it, the more you learn it, and the more you're able to verbalize it. So jump on the call tonight, 8:30. Listen to the opportunity, and you'll know more about your business. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining the training, and everybody have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.